All right, so I decided to just sort of put out my thoughts. I'm gonna think out loud as I sort of um, think about like what I'm gonna do with this character because this character is actually pretty good um, as far as like JRPG protagonist goes. But yeah, I wanted to like I didn't really like talk about him in my previous dev diary, and I just wanted to kind of like come up with the actual story for this game. Um, but yeah, I like this this whole like open midriff thing. I feel like there is actually a character with this whole setup. I need to think of it. Maybe it was like some Final Fantasy game. I don't know. There's someone the weird like you'd think this is like a parody, but like it does exist. I think it might have been a phone game. I'm not sure. All right, so yeah, he's got this crazy big sword that kind of looks like scissors, but it just kind of crazy. And his whole gimmick is, oh, actually, read it out loud. A big ego PRG protagonist, might be a misspell, RPG protagonist who just finished his first adventure. His sword turns back into his girlfriend and walks away with low self-esteem. So like, yeah, my whole thing is like, all right, so we got to figure out um how we're gonna integrate that into his like backstory. Like, is the game is the game that I'm making? I want to make an RPG just because, like, I just want to challenge myself. But is the game that I'm making his last RPG, his first adventure? Like, um, because like yeah, this whole other world is the world that he's in an RPG? Would you call like all these characters? Could they all fit in an RPG? I think most of them could. Ultra Mint sounds like someone who would like be in a contemporary setting because the trading cards exist, but the cards exist in like Final Fantasy VIII and stuff. Um, so yeah, like there's some consideration. Like Executive Cobra sounds like futuristic. So it's like would all these this is like a perfect monster. This could be a perfect like boss fight or something. But then yeah, like how much do we want these characters to be connected to the in universe? Like part of me wants to do like okay, he came out of an RPG video game, but I don't know. It might be more fun because yeah, I was thinking like having this like big. By the way, if Carol Bossman is watching this, which I highly doubt, but I don't know. I don't know what he does in his spare time. I would watch this after you played the game because I might like spoil things or something like that. This is where I'm like going crazy with the spoilers, the spoiler ideas. Because I'm like thinking like, okay, I have some crazy ideas I wanted to get to. But like I'm thinking, okay, so he has his girlfriend who turned into a sword or something like that. And I'm wondering if like what the backstory would be for that exactly. If I'm like developing why his girlfriend turned into a sword, or if he had like the sword already. Because here's the thing, like the game, I'm making a game in 1 month, an RPG in 1 month. I doubt I can like cover the whole adventure. I might have to do like, okay, it's like on disc 4 of the adventure. Like it's a in media res. It's sort of like maybe he's like I don't know, like he's like stranded on an island and he's lost all of his party members, but he's like near the final boss and like he has a sword and it's like the backstory's like sort of filled in. I'm not really sure. Like on one hand, if I do it from like start to finish, like this whole adventure, like kind of squished, it has to like the game has to be 1 hour long, by the way. So it has to be like this condensed experience, and I feel like it'd be easier to tell the story if it's like fast forwarded a bit to where he's like already got the sword, he's already got the sidekick. You kind of like if you played RPGs before, we don't need to go through this whole like song and dance. We need to get to the interesting bits. Like why is his girlfriend a sword? Like why is this what is this, this dog thing? Um yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards it's like near the end of the game basically. And yeah, I'm just like thinking out loud, brainstorming like some ideas. I was thinking like the gameplay, the girlfriend and the sword. I'm wondering how that would work out. Like maybe if you lose self-esteem, because I already have this whole other system going on, where if you lose self-esteem and um yeah, like would you be able to fight? Because his sword, he loses his sword basically, and like his girlfriend would come out. And would she just become another party member, or maybe it's like it complicates it because now it's like you have this whole other character sprite that needs to like function and stuff like that. Yeah, I was thinking she could become like Tifa Lockhart and just like fight for him if he has low self esteem, which is like a weird idea. But it's like, why wouldn't you want to have? It's almost like maybe the getting low self esteem is not a game over per se, but it's just like he has to let his girlfriend fight for him or something. I guess it's like, what does it say here? His sword turns back into his girlfriend and walks away with low self esteem. I'm assuming his girlfriend is not the one with low self esteem. It's if he has low self esteem, his sword turns back into a girlfriend with low. Okay, so yeah, like yeah, his girlfriend could fight for him. That'd be really funny. And I came up earlier in the Discord chat with all the other people who are doing the game jam and part of Kyle Bossman's like community. I don't think he's on that Discord though. I'm thinking about like all of his dialogue could change. It'd be really easy to implement this now that I've had like some tools implemented. But basically, if he's like below a certain threshold, like very low self esteem, he could just like all of his dialogue could just become like Squall's dialogue where he's just like whatever or like ellipses like spamming. Like he's just like, oh, I'll fight, I'll guess if I have to. Like he's just a completely different character. Whereas like normally he's just like, all right, I can take anything on. Like what a talk about a rough landing, like just insufferable. Like he's not trying to be like annoying, but he just like the way he exists. He's just existing. He just is insufferable. And yeah, like yeah, I'm wondering how that would all like work out. Like the dialogue I could work out, but like how do you make the low self-esteem function in the gameplay? Because like if you basically are you at a disadvantage if your girlfriend fights for you? Basically, I would say no, but it's just like actually what like yeah I don't know. I'm like trying to think because it would be funny if you could keep playing with his low self-esteem, right? Like you wouldn't have to like because I want you to be able to see. I guess it's like yeah, like would you be able to see all the dialogue if you're doing well at the game, or would you have to intentionally be bad at the game to see like the whatever dialogue? But yeah, I'm wondering about that kind of stuff. And now I'm wondering about like yeah, maybe it could just be part of the story, um like maybe in a cutscene you get low self esteem, like your low self esteem meter intentionally gets low, so you can at least see a bit of it. Um, and then like in battle, you can get your self esteem back pretty easily, and then it's like okay, like now my character's talking like a normal person. Um, something like that. I don't know. Cause yeah, like yeah, the whole girlfriend thing. How do we work this angle in? Um, 'Cause, yeah, I'm thinking like the backstory would be that he's got this cursed sword. Like he needs to get the sword, like the master sword or something to defeat the bad guy. Like it's tied to the big bad soul. And yeah, like you fight the big bad guy at the end of the game that I'm working on. And but the curse is that like you have to sacrifice a loved one or something like that. Or like they just didn't know about the curse and like it happened to the girlfriend became like the sacrifice or something like that. It's kind of generic, but it's like I'm trying to like figure out like what would work because there's so many like fun things you can do with this. Like the girlfriend just like knows what what she's doing, and like the guy doesn't, the Haver just doesn't know. Um, yeah, yeah, kind of. It's like yeah, basically the story so far I'm thinking of is like you're washed ashore, stranded on an island. There's like one town, one dungeon, and like you're finding your party members. I haven't even thought about the party members yet. I was thinking like the other characters could be party members if they're in the same universe, but then I'm like, well, what if the I guess I don't know. I think I'm gonna abandon the idea of making it like you're in uh this guy comes out of a JRPG game or whatever. Because I think the ending that it would be like there's a kid playing like an old RPG, like Dragon Quest. Well, he's playing the game that this guy's in, and he pops out after beating the final boss, and he's like, "Whoa, where the hell am I?" And then it's like, okay, now he's in the universe with everyone else. But I don't know. I feel like most of these characters can fit in a JRPG universe, but it's like if like I guess if I win, it wouldn't matter because then the JRPG universe would be the canon universe or whatever. I'm just like wondering like okay, would Executive Cobra actually be in a JRPG universe? I guess it's not that crazy. It'd just be like the universe that the RPG would take place in would be like okay, there's like a futuristic city somewhere in the world, like FF7 or something like that. So it would be plausible for this character to exist. Yeah, I'm just gonna abandon the idea of like it came out of an art JRPG because it just might be too like meta or something. Like the theme is like self-esteem, right? It's not like characters that come from different video games, right? I mean, it would be like it would make a whole lot of sense, basically. So anyway, I need to think about the most important part, which is like character investment. How would I like care about this character? Because it says like character investment. How much we now care about the hero. Actually, a fun game. That's like the hardest part. So yeah, I'm like thinking about like how do we make it invest in this character? I was thinking we could do something crazy. This is like spoilers, but um, what if uh, these two characters break up at the end of the game? But he still has to use the sword or something like that. Like, or like I guess they could like break up to get rid of the curse or something like that. But no, 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 no. It can't. That can't happen because it's a prequel, right? It's basically like yeah. I'm like thinking, what if yeah, what if the like the backstory? What if the game is the backstory? So it's not a gameplay mechanic or anything like that. What if like he has a sword, but it has to be powered up, and he has to sacrifice his girlfriend in like the dungeon that you're playing, the last dungeon or something, and the girlfriend's just like hanging out or something like that, or maybe the girlfriend's like a party member basically. Like she's supposed to be a party member. Her name's BB, and like it's like this self-esteem like I mean yeah, there's like a universe where self-esteem is like tied to like magic or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, it's like yeah. So there's if he's like low on self-esteem, he just becomes like Squall. He goes from being Shulk to just Squall Laneheart. Um, but yeah, then it's like okay, like the game is the backstory as to why the girlfriend is yeah. I would think that makes more sense because be more invested, right? Yeah. So I think it'd be more interesting if yeah, like he's got the sword. Basically, it's established that he went on a quest to get the sword so he could defeat the bad guy. But then, like like most Zelda games, you have to like power it up or something. And like the dungeon in this game, the game that I'm making, will be like the quest to like power it up before fighting the big bad guy. Maybe the big bad guy appears or something. I don't know. Or maybe no. Maybe the town that you go into. Yeah, it's more complicated. Like if I do it before you get to the big bad guy, then I would have to do this whole like, well, if you have low self-esteem, then the sword disappears, in battle or something like that. I don't know. It's like really, um, it's kind of complicated, right? I'm like still undecided of like what to do about that. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, maybe at the start of the game where you're like washed up ashore on the beach. You look for BB. You find her like at the town or something like that, or maybe like somewhere on the beach. I don't know. And becomes your party member. Like it's gonna be annoying to program party members, but we'll do something about that. And then you go to the town, and then like this old man goes like, "Oh, in order to power the sword, you must like go to this like shrine or something." And then like uh you don't realize what costs like or I don't know like the big crystal or something at the shrine is like, oh, you must sacrifice something, and it's like, what's you must, or it's like, I don't know, it's like you must sacrifice something the most precious to you. What is thou desireth? What is most precious to you, or something like that, some stupid shit. And he's like, my girlfriend. He doesn't even like realize what he just like that he's like gone into some kind of contract or something. But yeah, and then so BB is no longer your party member, but she can become your party member. So if I program like the party member stuff ahead of time, then it's easy to kind of have like a like maybe he just gets weaker. He just loses the sword. He can only like he can't like fight or something. He can like maybe cast magic or something like that. Yeah, that's the thing, is like I have to change all the animations. Like I would have to just get rid of his sword or something. Maybe he just like punches or something. Or just like the same attack animation, but his sword's gone or something like that. But he does like way less damage. But then his girl can fight for him. Yeah, but the thing is, if you already have the girlfriend at the start of the game, then it's gonna be very different. It's gonna be very different. Like you have her at all times. So I don't know. Maybe you just like don't fight with her at first. Maybe you just don't get into any battle. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's like really convoluted because that it's like at the start of the game you have her as a party member all the time, and then when she gets cursed and you get the sword into her, it's like, okay, well, maybe yeah, and then she's like a temporary party member if he has low self esteem. So yeah, it's like oh my god, it's so complicated. Maybe the girlfriend doesn't like actually fight. Maybe she's not like Tifa Law. It's just more like the girlfriend's sort of like a it's like an NPC, but like like a story character. It's like part of the main story, but it's not like an actual player character. But she just like hangs out for whatever reason. Um, yeah, I don't know, because like to me this is like a parody of uh like Xenoblade. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Kyle played Xenoblade Chronicles, and like it's kind of like this whole idea of like why is this girl like the sword or something like that. I'm pretty sure like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is basically right. Like I don't think what's the character's name, Rex or something like, and then like I forget what the it's like the I think Pyrrha or something like that was the girl, but she's not like Rex's girlfriend. It's not just like established early on. She's just like a sword to begin with. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'd be easier if the backstory. Maybe okay. The backstory is that he's trying to get rid of the curse. He's defeating the big bad guy because he's trying to get rid of the curse of the girl. I think we'll have if he's low self esteem. I think we're gonna have to do the temporary party member and he fights for him kind of thing. Because if we do the whole like, oh, he has to get his like girlfriend cursed or something like that. Like he has to power up his sword thing. We're good. We can't do that because it's like introducing a new play mechanic all the way in. It's like, oh my god, like the game jam game. It's not like gonna be I think it's gonna be like established early on. It's not gonna be like super. we're not like going into the backstory of the sword and the girlfriend. But we will like we're establishing who the bad guy is and kind of why he has to defeat him. Like the reason why he has to defeat the bad guy is to get rid of the curse on the sword. I think, basically. And like we could do a flashback sequence to explain it or something like that, you know. Um, but I think like with JRPG tropes, I think we'll get it if it's like uttered in like one line, well, one line of dialogue. Like, oh, we gotta get rid of this curse on the sword. Gotta rescue my girlfriend. Gotta get rid of this curse. I don't know why I'm doing this voice. Um. So yeah, I'm like, oh god. So that's kind of it, I guess. I don't have everything figured out though. It's just like it's still kind of like I need to brainstorm more because I know what I want to do with the dog as far as game mechanic go. I want him to like follow you around. Maybe he like finds items, like hidden items or something. But for the most part, he's gonna like help you slow down enemies on like the active time bar kind of thing. I think he's gonna talk. I think he has to talk because I need like because if his girlfriend isn't there, he's like the sword or something. Um, I think he has to talk. Yeah, it's just I think what's gonna happen is she just becomes a party. The game doesn't have to be like super balanced. I think it's just gonna be she becomes a party member, and he's even like stronger than him. Maybe like it's just like or like more well put together. Like she doesn't have self esteem issues or something. I don't know. She looks really sad though. Maybe she does. I don't know. She's like tired of being a sword or something. Like she feels every hit that he feels every swing that he does with the sword. He's like tired of his catchphrases. You're mine. I always have mine. I'll fight you. So yeah, I don't know. Like I haven't really gotten anywhere with this, honestly. I hope this is like an entertaining like dev diary. But yeah, this is like just me talking, thinking out loud, basically. Because like yeah, we have to have this optional boss fight. That's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be like on the world map or something. I don't think you can kill the character, but you can defeat them. Is basically the idea. And yeah, like I can't like I feel like the girlfriend is like good enough as an extra party member that I might not even really bother with this. These characters might be like NPCs on the side or something like that. I don't know. Um, I was thinking with Ultra Mint, like you could have this whole other card game. Like I wouldn't actually make the card game, but it'd be like, do you want to play like I don't know whatever the card game name is, and it's like I don't know, just like a reference to God, what's the? I think it's like Tetra Card Master or something, or Gwent. I guess it'd be like Gwent, like just clearly like it's alluding to like some other like crazy like um other thing, but it's not actually there kind of thing. Like most RPGs have, where the card game almost replaces the actual main game. Like Final Fantasy VIII, I'm pretty sure like the card game is the way to get the most overpowered items in the game. It's like insane. Okay, so yeah, I need to think of some other ideas for how to go about because like I don't really have a huge character investment quite yet, right? Like yeah. Oh right. The breakup. What if they break up at the end of the first adventure? Like she still has to use her as a sword, but they break up at the end of the game. Um, that'd be interesting, right? Because why is she sad, right? Why does she walk away? I guess she walks away because like he's low. If he's not feeling it, she's not feeling it either. But it'd be funny if it was like, you know, um, it's because, yeah, it's like he saves the world, but then he has to work on his relationship. basically, is the idea. In the fighting game, he's like, I don't know. I guess it's like he's looking for his next adventure. I guess. But when he's low self esteem, he's like, oh man, I gotta work on my relationship with my girlfriend. Oh man, oh man. But that's what it feels like, right? Like you're a lower powered person when things with your relationship aren't working out. I don't know. Like you get deeply affected from a breakup. Man, it's like going really deep, like hardcore. Yeah, I kind of liked it. I think that would get people invested, right? Which would be like some sort of breakup. Because that would be like a shock or something. Um, it's like I'm breaking up with you. I saved the world. What? You're breaking up with me? What the hell? Okay, but wait a minute. Okay, so if you defeat the bad guy and he gets rid of the curse, huh? But then, yeah, that wouldn't be part of his character, man. This is what makes it so hard. It's like such a, like, it's like a two sentence thing, but I'm already like tripping over myself, like trying to figure out. Okay, wait, he gets rid of the curse or something. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really establish that he'd get rid of the curse, but I did establish it was the reason why he was trying to defeat the bad guy. Yeah, I mean, we could return to the idea that the girlfriend isn't part of the sword yet, or something like that. I don't know. Like maybe the girlfriend starts out as a party member that joins your party or something. Um, yeah. So what might happen is your girlfriend. The other way around would be she's your party member and you ask her out at the end of the game, like right when the final boss is dying. Um, and then like, but she gets turned into a sword or something, or she gets absorbed into the sword to beat him or something. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting like kind of kind of like all over the place right now. um, yeah, dude. What do we do about this? Yeah, I like it's like 30 minutes in now, I think. Or almost like 28 minutes. I got like 2 minutes left. I was gonna do like 30 minutes of me just opening brainstorming or 20 minutes, but now it's like I'm not even like sure what I want now. Um, yeah, because now I'm like flip flopping. I'm like, okay, well, what if I don't want this? What if I need to keep it simple. I feel like already having the curse with the girlfriend and the sword. Okay, we'll just make it simple. He doesn't get rid of the curse for defeating the bad guy, basically, but he defeats the big bad guy who's like taking over the world and stuff like that. It's going to doomsday world or something like that. Um, he prevents the calamity. So that's like his first adventure. But yeah, basically he had to power up the sword with his girlfriend. It was like a weird sacrifice thing. Um, in order to defeat the big bad guy, basically. But we established that early on. Um, yeah, what makes it complicated is like if you lose the sword, if you get low self esteem in the battle, and then you go out into the field or something, then you have to like do all this stuff like what if the girlfriend's in the overworld and if you talk to NPCs. But there's only one town, one dungeon, so I think it's just going to be like you get low self esteem, your girlfriend appears as a party member, fights for you, basically, and like you just play as yourself in the overworld, like like party members just like go inside of you or something like that. Like it just implied that like you have a different personality, I guess. Yeah, so the main mechanic I think is just going to be like dialogue changes. Like if you're low self esteem in the overworld and you talk to an NPC, you're just like, "Oh, whatever. Okay, I guess. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to fight if I have to. Okay." Like whatever. He's just like very sentimental. But in the battle, like the girlfriend's like in the party member. Yeah, I guess it's like I should probably just make party members an actual feature just in case I need to do the girlfriend thing. Um, yeah, breakup. Oh god, now the breakup thing is like, yeah, I think basically the a breakup could happen. A breakup could happen where like I don't know. Well, it's implied that it's his girlfriend. He's so back in his girlfriend, low self esteem. Yeah, I'm thinking the title of the game would just be like, I saved the world, but my girlfriend is now a sword. That'd be a very like I feel like anime nowadays is like the title is like I'm a spider. Now what? Like that's literally what an anime is called on Crunchyroll. And I'm like, what's like a good title? Or it's like I saved the world, but my girlfriend broke up with me. It's actually like it's actually such a good title. Now that I think about it, I saved the world, but my girlfriend broke up with me. I saved the world, but my girlfriend is now a sword. Yeah, it might be easier if the girlfriend is a separate party member up until. Yeah, I think there's no breakup, but um the relationship gets soured. Okay. I think I got the idea now. All right. Um so you wash up on the shore and you're separated from your party members, but BB is like the only one you can find in the town near the beach or something like that. And we're like, we gotta fight the evil boss because they're like on the island with the big evil castle, and it's like the final dungeon of the game, the only dungeon and the final dungeon of like his adventure. And she's a party member. She's gonna be a party member. She's not. The sword isn't powered up yet, but is it like implied that maybe the sword needs a sacrifice in order to do the ultimate. Oh my god, yes, we have to do the ultimate attack. I completely forgot about the ultimate attack, the attack that you have to name. So, okay, what's the rule? The main character must discover a special move. Okay, I think what the idea is, in order to learn the special move that's required to defeat the boss, he must sacrifice a party member to become like part of the sword or something like that. Like to learn the move, not to do the move, because then they would like I have to sacrifice people all the time. But yeah, it's like BB Omni Slash or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think the idea would be the apex, the finality of the game, the final like kind of thing, confrontation, is you doing your special move. Okay, yeah. So she beat in your party basically, fighting all the time. The self esteem thing would come in with the dialogue basically. I think that'd be really the only thing other than like I don't know. It's a good your attacks are a little weaker when you're low self esteem. But the backstory for why she's inside the sword will be in the story, basically. And yeah, she's like fighting alongside you. I think she's just going to be a party member that just happens to be your girlfriend, like Tifa or Aerith or whatever, like she's just like there. There's no other party member in the game except for maybe like he wouldn't really be a party member. He's more like an annoying sidekick. Um, okay, so yeah, I saved the world, but my girlfriend turned into a sword. And I'm thinking, yeah, to get a little bit more invested, she's like reconsidering the relationship of how things. But before things could like really like evolve, like before they could talk their feelings out to each other, she gets turned into a sword. Like right when the final boss battle, they're like talking to each other, like, Haver, I don't know about this. What's going on with this? You never like emotionally like open up to me or something. I don't know, like just something that's like, um, yeah. I think that's what's gonna happen. I saved the world, but my girlfriend got turned into a sword. I'm gonna commit to that bit, and she's gonna be a party member. Um, she fights alongside you. I was thinking maybe she doesn't have a self-esteem problem, or I don't know. Because originally I was thinking the party members would have their just self-esteem and no HP. You wouldn't have to worry about that. But maybe you have self-esteem, a self-esteem meter, but the party member just has HP. But yeah, I think that's going to be like what the game is going to be about. I don't know. It's like I'm still undecided on a couple things, but I think for the game to work, it needs to A, take place in the later part of the story. B, the girlfriend must turn into a sword at the end of the game, at the final boss kind of moment. And C, uh, that's the reason why his special move exists, basically. I think the backstory for why the sword is the way it is, um, would be interesting. And it's like the whole point, basically. All right. All right, I'm done with this devlog, this dev diary thing. Hopefully, it's not too long or boring, but this is just for the record. I'm saving this all for the record and how I came to this conclusion. But yeah, that's where my head is at.